And he says, Bill, he says, what I want you to do is to blow the whistle on this rotten, corrupt government. And he says, why don't you say something outrageous like we never went to the moon?
Okay, this is a 360-degree panoramic view of the Taurus Littrow Valley.
Mispronunciation of content-specific key terms in a particular subject area is generally not considered a good indication of expertise on that subject. The term is pronounced Taurus Littrow, not Taurus. And no, I don't think it makes any difference at all whether the person is British or American.
Apollo 17 landing site. And you'll notice that it is 360 degrees because the lump of rock on the left of the picture and the lump of rock on the right of the picture are identical. So it is 360 degrees. Consists of about 15 individual photographs, all strapped together to give us this wonderful panorama. So you could be reasonably certain that somewhere in this picture is the Apollo 17 lander. I can't find it.
I wonder if Mr. Allen has ever looked down at his feet while he was wearing shoes and exclaimed, "My God, my toes have disappeared." This problem is just slightly more difficult than that. Here is a picture of the landing site for Apollo 17 in Taurus Littrow. The panorama taken in Marcus Allen's video here was from Station 5. The astronauts were located along the edge of Camelot Crater. In this picture, the area is lit by the sun from the east, and this light region indicates what would be an uphill slope for someone traveling from east to west. This region, which is somewhat darker than the average, probably indicates a downslope for the same traveler. This map, which has contour lines at 20-meter increments, shows that the lander is probably at least 20 meters below Station 5. My first thought, when I couldn't see the LEM in that panorama, was that it might be too far away to see. But that's not something one would expect your typical conspiracy theorist to come up with. So between that and Google Moon, I found that the distance between Station 5 and the LEM was about 1,275 meters, or about 0.8 of a mile. Then I checked the elevations and have indicated them here. Note that Google Earth and the contour map that I used before use two different orientations for measurement. At 1,275 meters, the LEM would appear small, but would be visible unless there was a lot of glare from the sun, or unless intervening terrain blocked its view. I've relabeled those elevations here using 0 for Station 5. You can see that the LEM is lower than Station 5 and the ridge between them is higher than Station 5. I believe these Google Moon figures are a little bit off, but no matter what source you use, it is clear that the LEM would be invisible from Station 5. Maybe Mr. Allen didn't realize how the lunar terrain should look, or that the highlands are quite hilly, or how far astronauts can travel when they have the rover. But then, if conspiracy theorists had any real experience or knowledge, they wouldn't be conspiracy theorists.
You know where it should be? It should be pretty well in the center here.
No, I think it's pretty obvious that Mr. Allen has no idea where the LEM should be. Let's keep in mind that this is a 360-degree panorama. It's taken by a series of photographs in small increments as the astronaut turned. There is no reason to believe that any particular feature of it should be in the center of the photograph.
But it's not. It's not anywhere there at all. It's not hidden anywhere because it's quite tall. We have an astronaut here, Jack Schmitt. We have the lunar rover here, but we don't have a lander.
Let's go to the NASA site and get a better version of this panorama. It's a little disappointing when a photographic expert and hoaxer hero like Marcus Allen makes a video of a picture in the book by hand-holding a camera. As you can see, lens flare and glare from the sun have been digitally edited out of this panorama. Maybe Marcus Allen and some of his hoaxer friends can use that as more evidence that the moon missions were faked. But let's analyze the terrain here and see if we can figure out where the lens should be and what it would look like if we could see it. Here is the higher ridge to the east, and this is probably about the horizon line. And this is about the size that the lens would look from 1,275 meters. Now let's look at Google Earth and do a flyby at an altitude of only 22 meters above Station 5. Even at 20 meters above the ground, you could not see the lem from Station 5.
Note to set dresser, remember lander next time.
What a conceited, pompous ass. Note to Marcus Allen and followers. Don't presume to teach. Learn.
And what about those spotlights?
Now, spotlights. I'm glad you asked that. Up here, we have what look like spotlights. This is one picture, and then they appear again in the next one, and they appear again in the one here. But what are they? The official answer is that they are lens flare. These are Hasselblad cameras with Zeiss lenses, and those Zeiss lenses don't produce lens flare like that.
Hasselblad cameras with Zeiss lenses, as if they don't make that kind of lens flare. Yes, they do.
They produce large images similar to that. That could be lens flare, this is not. So quite what they are remains a mystery. We'll not call them spotlights because we don't know that they are.
Well, now you say you don't call them spotlights, but they can't be lens flare, so I guess you're leaving it up to your inquisitive viewers to decide for themselves. Here are the 4 frames that Gene Cernan took, in about the same time that he would have taken them. Gee, isn't it nice that they changed the lights and moved them around every time he took a new picture every few seconds? And not only that, but they just happened to line up exactly with the brightest glow from outside the picture and with the center of that large orb which you say is lens flare. Darn, time flies when you're having fun. I won't have time to deal with the rest of his claims in that video. I've already skipped the ones at the first part, so I guess this calls for a follow-up, in which case I'll do both, and debunk all of the pretentious nonsense in that one video that Marcus Allen passes off as truth-seeking.